What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point,
And I am Calamity Red.
and we are Conversation Con Artists back after a long hiatus.
Very long. It's almost been a year at this point. It's been a while, mostly because of me. So if I sound different, the reason that I sound different is because I had a massive stroke in May of last year.
Yes, and it's been a road to recovery, but
It has been
back,
a road.
back and in action. Voice different.
My voice is different, and so I would like to tell you all, I'm just gonna sound like this. The reason that I sound this way, according to the doctors, is because the part of my brain that was impacted controls the voice, and so that's why I sound like this. And it's probably, it may just stay this way. I don't know.
They said it might get better though.
They did. They said there was room for it to get better, so it still could. I still might sound like my old self. I don't know. In the big scheme of things, I guess it's a small problem to have, because when I woke up, I could not walk, I could not talk, I could not do any of that. And so of all the things that stuck around, my voice I can take. I can take that. Better than not being able to walk. That would have been horrible.
I know, right?
So yeah. As far as what happens, so you know how they show on the TV, people go in a coma. I was in a coma for 2 months, and they have all these near death experiences. I don't remember any of that. So the story about what happened will have to come from him, because I don't remember it at all. I just woke up and I was in the hospital.
Look, Jennifer is very, very organized. Okay. She's on top of her game with her clients. We both therapists. We in my office right now.
Yes.
We both therapists and we do our thing. Except me, I'm very loose. I be forgetting sessions, and they be messaging me and being like, "Hey, you got a client here," and I be like, "Okay, I'm on the way." I only live like 3 minutes away from my office, so I'm good with that one.
I live a half hour, so I cannot do it.
Yeah, and so I also got narcolepsy. So if I ever miss a session, everybody in the office just assume I'm asleep. I done rescheduled it. But Jennifer ain't like that. Red ain't like that. Red is like, if somebody show up at the office and she ain't here, maybe it was an oversight on the client part. If it happened 2 times in one day, something is wrong. And that's what happened on that day. She did not answer the phone. Clients were coming to the office and asking where she at. And I wasn't here that day. It was on Monday or Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday.
Tuesday. I'm not in the office on Tuesdays. It's my off day. And Bree called me and said Jennifer hadn't showed up for several other clients, and I was like, something is wrong. And so I did have a virtual client that day, and I was like, when I finish this session, I'm gonna go to her house. Get to her house. Her car is in the garage. Her dog is barking. I can tell he's barking from the room, which means he never left the room, which means that she's still in her room. I called the sheriff. The sheriff come there. This Inspector Gadget dumbass nigga, like, bruh. He was like Inspector Gadget without the gadgets. Y'all know Inspector Gadget was dumb as hell. Stupid. The day being saved by Penny.
Yes.
And what was the dog name?
I forgot the dog's name.
Why am I thinking Brain?
It wasn't Brain. That was for Pinky and the Brain. The mice.
I can't remember the dog name, but he out there like wanting to walk around the perimeter of the house. He got up under her bedroom and he said, "Is this her bedroom?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Call her phone." And I was like, "For what, nigga? We been calling her phone all day. She ain't answering. Something is wrong." And I'm like, then he's like, "Hey, should we call her family?" And I was like, "Not until we got something to tell them. We outside not knowing what's going on. Let's wait." He goes straight to his car and call your mama and look information up to get her. I could have gave you the number if you just gonna say that's what I'm finna do. I just walked back to the front and I hear a phone ringing and your mama answering. I'm like, what the fuck he even asked me for? Why you ask me, bro? Like, and then so your mama know, but we don't know what happened. It was like, we lost out the house. Okay, so I just asked him, I said, "Can you break into the house?" He was like, "Well, yeah, but I wanted to exercise some others." Like, sir, break into the house. I'll pay for the door. Whatever you keeping you from trying to break into the house first, let's do it. So I don't know why the glass on your back door was as thick as it was, man. Because
I'm glad that it did not break because I had to fix it later. So
when you see cat burglars and stuff, they just do a little kish and then it just break out. He hit it with the back of his flashlight, and it was like you could tell it was one of them like vibration shocks that went all through his body where he was like, and so he ended up having to go get a rock. And no. He went to go get a rock. He had the rock. And then he said, you know what? And then because I went to get the rock. I went to go get the rock. I bought it to him. And then I think because I bought it to him, he was like, no, I'm going to do it my way. So he just kicked in the door. We went back there. Jennifer on the floor. So not a good situation because now she's been on the floor all day, which means she can't move. But what does that mean? But, she ain't been attacked or killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start thinking all the stuff. But the door was still locked, so it's like nobody could have got in. Dumbass neighbor from across the street gonna come over there and tell us that she left earlier that day.
Wish I hadn't gone in.
She did not leave nowhere. What the hell was he talking about, bro? Like,
I don't even know where he got that from.
So paramedics got there about the same time he decided to kick in the door. Went back there. Remy was not happy. Remy was like, who the fuck are y'all?
he had been there with me all day, so he was probably scared. He didn't know. He didn't know what's going on.
Who are y'all? Why y'all in here? You ain't finna touch her. So I kind of blocked him off because they were scared. Like, I don't know what kind of EMT must have some bad experiences with dogs, boy.
Imagine trying to go in somebody's house and their dog is there. The dog will attack you there.
And Remy nice. Like, they probably done walked up against Cujo.
But they don't know that he's nice. He don't look nice. He's a big dog. He looks like he would bite you.
He look like a cow. Nigga look like a dairy cow. Just in a dog shape. He got spots. White and brown spots. But he was protected. And
they gave me Narcan because they thought I was having an overdose. I've never done any drugs. By the way.
When I got to the bedroom, Red she was still in her underwear, but she was aware because as soon as she heard the sheriff say, "Hey, this the sheriff," she pulled a cover around herself. So in my mind, okay, she's aware. Whatever it is, she's not gone. He asked her if she could push herself to the door. She put her arms up like this and then tried, but she couldn't. And so I went in, I blocked Remy. The paramedics drug her ass out like a rag doll. I was like, God dang, y'all could have been a little bit more gentle than that. Her face gonna have carpet burn. They slung her ass out. They're like, oh, y'all that scared of dogs? Who got bit by a dog? Cause they was just like, zoop. And I was like, damn. And then they, do their little merchant thing. But while she was on the floor face down, I guess spit coming out of her mouth and stuff. And I think they probably equated that to slobbing out the mouth to justify giving her Narcan. And they probably have seen so many people who done overdosed, looking in all kind of different ways. But they were supposed to be interviewing me and asking me questions. But they didn't ask me anything. And they were just doing all kinds of stuff, putting stuff in her mouth and put stuff in her skin, doing stuff. And it's like, she was trying to take them out. She was trying to take it out. And this is where they tried to make it seem like she was fully unconscious when they got there. They made it seem like she had no consciousness at all. And I'm telling them, yeah, she was responding to shit. But that's what I learned. Like, if you ever in a situation where the EMT show up, make them ask you some questions. Or let them know that I got some information to tell y'all. This is what happened. Because what they wrote on the report was so different than what actually had went on. And I think they wrote the report to justify the use of Narcan. And some other things that they probably did. Took her to the hospital. And if you didn't know, Jennifer got problems with her pops.
I do.
So mama showed up with pops and everybody, but she's out. In my mind, she gonna wake back up soon. Her daddy do not need to be there when she wake up. If she open her eyes and see that nigga, it's gonna be a problem.
It is.
So I told the cousin made it happen. Daddy didn't come back. And that just began the process of waiting for Jen to wake up.
and I stayed asleep from May the 6th was the day that they found me, and I stayed asleep until the end of June. So I was in a coma for like 2 months. And I know on TV shows and movies, it makes it seem like they have all these, oh, don't go towards the light and all this stuff. I was asleep. It's like when you go to sleep at night, that's what I felt like. And I don't know if that's because, how I feel about faith. I don't know if you have these preconceived notions, if it will color the way that is for you. I have no idea, but I know I experienced nothing. And when I woke up, I actually thought it was May the 7th. I thought it was the next day. My mom had to explain to me like where I was and what happened, because I was very confused.
Well, sometimes when I fall asleep in the car and I wake up, I be confused like where I'm at, and it's like I quickly remember I'm in the car. But imagine going to sleep in your car and waking up and you in a barn. You know what I'm saying? You look around like, I know I didn't get myself here. What the hell going on? Like,
I didn't know where I was. Hospitals are very they're plain and all whites, and so I was like, I'm not at home. I don't know where I am. And I couldn't talk. I was trying to say things and nothing was coming out. So imagine, trying to get some information about where you are and not being able to ask for the information. I was so frustrated because I was trying to get my mom to understand what I wanted from her. And she was trying to, read it, but she couldn't, and she had no idea. So it was very rough, I learned to talk before I learned to walk. So when I came home, I could talk, but I could not walk. I had a wheelchair, and then I had a walker, and then I had a cane, and now I just walk.
She used that cane for a total of 30 minutes the whole time she had.
Yeah, I could have not bought the cane. It was such a waste of money. But let me say this: when I had the stroke, they still don't know what caused the stroke, and they did not know how the recovery was going to be. So that, they didn't want to tell me something and it didn't happen. And so nobody knew how long it was going to take me to walk and do all this stuff. And so I had no idea. So I just started buying things, in preparation for it. But it didn't come to pass. So I could have not bought the cane and been just fine. But I didn't know that at the time. So.
You want to know what one of my biggest worries was?
What?
Is that you was going to wake up and have had one of them awakenings and be going to church and shit.
Oh, yeah. No.
Carrying Bibles around. I was going to be like, oh, hell, yeah. Ain't she cussing no more.
Nah.
Want to go to some see some preachers in concert.
Absolutely not, no.
I was going to be like, Jen, that shit is over. It's over.
I think my mom thought that too, because I think she thought I was going to have some kind of religious awakening from this. And she really thought that she was playing gospel music every morning and all that stuff. And I was like, can you please stop doing that? I don't want to hear that. And I think she was quite disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that she thought, from this experience, her experience probably would have been very different because she's very religious. So she might have had the religious experience. I did not have that. It was just like I went to sleep.
Wake up, talk about she saw the pearly gates.
Yeah.
I saw the gates. I was at them.
So now
I was looking through them. I knew it wasn't my time.
I believe your preconceived notions impact what you see. Because I did not see any of that stuff that people normally talk about that they saw, when they were in a coma or I have all these experiences. I had nothing. I was just like going to sleep. I will say I did kind of have some dreams because I dreamed that I met Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey? Yes. He was doing some kind of show and he was recording and I don't know. It was crazy. I'm sure it was a dream. I dreamed about a lot of things that probably was just my mind trying to make sense of the situation. All of the dreams, none of them made sense. Mm-hmm. And none of them happened. So once I could talk, I had to go over with my mom, like what happened, what really happened against what I thought happened. Because I don't know the difference between when I was dreaming and when I was awake. It all seemed the same to me. And so she tried to answer as many questions as she could, but she got here like an hour after the fact, after they called her because she lives an hour away. So it's not like she just, down the street and she could just come over. It took her a while. By the time she got here, I was already at the hospital, I think. Mm-hmm. So, she missed the first half of all this crazy. And she recently, maybe at this point, like 2 weeks ago, she left. And because she was living with me because I needed help doing things. I could not drive. I couldn't do anything. I had to regain all of that stuff back. And she moved out and went back home. And she is so worried that I'm going to have another stroke and she will not be here. And I told her, even if you are here, all you're going to be able to do is call 911. You're not a doctor. You're not going to be able to give me any kind of treatment. And there's not even any treatment that you can give for stroke. Even if she was, she's not. She's nowhere near being a doctor. So I don't know what she wants to be here for if it happens. I don't know that she's going to be able to do anything. I guess it's just being a mom, which I'm not a mom, so maybe I just don't know anything about that. It just seems silly to me, but, you know, I appreciate that she cares. You know, she just, the day that it happened, from that day on, my mom moved in with me and that was it. She just got up and quit her part-time job and just moved in the house. She, no ifs, ands, or buts, or whatever. She just came on and did what needed to be done. And she stayed, I mean, she almost stayed for almost a year. So, I mean, she could do that because she was tired, but I mean, that's still a big deal. I don't know how many parents would do that. So, I do appreciate that she did that.
But she was getting on Red's nerves.
She was.
And she was just sitting at the house chilling, watching Matlock and all them old black and white shows all day. And, you know, I'd be like that too if my mom was there, so I'd be more aggressive.
I was not aggressive with her because I felt obligated because I did not want her to think that I did not appreciate all that I know that she had done for me. Mm-hmm. And so I never wanted it to come across that I was ungrateful. And so the way that I handled everything was because I wanted her to know that I appreciated. I really did, because she did a big thing, something that a lot of people would not do, and I'm aware of that. And I can say that. I know that.
Yeah.
As far as anything that's left over, mostly it's just my voice. I drive. I'm back at work, building my business back up. I cook. I do all the things that you do. The only thing that's like sticking around is the change in my voice. And I get tired of talking sometimes. It's not my favorite thing to do, which is hilarious, seeing as how I talk for work. But that's really the only other thing that is still left over. You know, now, like I said, when I woke up, I could not walk or talk. Mm-hmm. So when I woke up, I couldn't do anything. I was just laying in the bed. It was so funny. I was at UAB. UAB hospital has these cameras, and so there's somebody that's watching the camera all day. And no matter what I did, they were always like, "Oh, don't do that, Miss Fuller. Put your legs back in the bed." It's like I can't do anything. I mean, I wasn't even trying to get up. If I stretched my legs out and they went over the bed, they were calling and telling me not to do that. I couldn't do anything. I mean, I guess it's good they have somebody to watch you so that, you know, nothing bad can happen. But it was also very annoying. I got so tired of them calling me and saying stuff to me.
But ain't no telling what Red would have been trying to be doing.
This is true.
If somebody was stopping her, she probably would have been trying to get up and collapse on the floor, and then they had to come pick you up. Now your ribs broke.
That's very true. Because even when I came home, I was doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. So I sat outside every day because I was bored, and he bought me some puzzles and some Legos and stuff for me to do while I was at home because I was super bored. And one of the days, you know, that I was sitting outside, I just got up and walked down the stairs to my house to the bottom floor. And my mom came outside looking for me, and she was confused because I wasn't on the porch where she knew she had left me. And she was terrified. She was so scared. And I was just like, I'm down here. And she was like, what are you doing down there? And I was like, I just wanted to see if I could make it. You know, I was sitting there, and I was like, I wonder if I could walk down those stairs. And at this time, I was still in the wheelchair, so my legs were not super strong. But I was like, maybe I can, you know. If I can't, I'll fall and she'll come and she'll help me and it'll be fine. And so that's what I know that I told myself. And so when she came out, she she was so angry that I would do this. But to me, it wasn't a big deal. It was just like, I just walked down the stairs, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't see the problem. But she was like, you could have fought, all these things. And it wasn't that she was wrong, because I could have, but I never considered it. It never even crossed my mind. I was going to walk down the stairs and be fine, which is what happened. And that's what I thought was going to happen. I never considered the bad things.
Well, I mean,
if she had not been living with me, I probably would have got hurt. I already when I first got home, I fell. So she had taken me to my room so I could go to the bathroom, and because I had this I guess like a chair toilet that we would sit by the bed, and that's what I would use. And so I went to the bathroom, she left so I could have some privacy, and I was done. And I didn't want to bother her about coming to get me, so I was going to, I got myself up and walked off. Not realizing that my legs were not strong yet, fell right on the floor. Boom! She was so mad. She came back, she was like, you cannot hit your head, because they told her that I could not hit my head on anything. So she was so angry at me because she was like, you could have hit your head and you ended up back in the hospital. Why would you do that? And I was like, I didn't want you to have to come and help me. I can do it myself. And she was like, but you can't do it yourself. And I was like, well, I know that now. I didn't know that before. I know that's what y'all had told me, but I have to see for myself.
mm-hmm.
Can't nobody just tell me. I need to see it for myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. If she had not been there, I'd been trying all kind of crazy things. I would have, but I didn't want to worry her, so that made me sit down a lot more than I probably would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say you have any trauma left over? That had to be scary. I was laying on the floor.
The only thing I had a problem with, really, and I understand it now, but in the moment, how casual of conversation the EMTs was having in the moment. They were just talking about outfits and shit. And you on the floor, goddamn. And I'm like, nigga, there's some serious shit going on over here. I'm about to hear that shit y'all talking about. I mean, I didn't say that, but in my head, I was like, bruh. And in that moment, I didn't care. But afterwards, I was like, they probably see the worst stuff. Yeah, and they can't just get caught up in as much as I am and what's going on, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So... that, but nothing that's lasting with me, nothing that's sticking with me.
I will say that I could not see a future where, if I had to be in a wheelchair from here on out, I don't think I would have done very well with that. I can't imagine a life like that. Mm-hmm. I can't. I really don't know what I would have done. That would have been terrible. And then I was really upset when they couldn't tell me why. Because I was like, if I don't know why, how am I supposed to prevent another one? If y'all just telling me you don't know why. And I couldn't think of a reason, because I don't remember being stressed out enough to justify a show. Apparently I was, but I don't remember that. I mean, I was angry about some things, but I'm always angry about some things, so never to a stroke level, or so I thought anyway. But my blood pressure was not high, my cholesterol was not high, it was none of those things. So I guess I had to be stressed out, but I don't remember it being to that extent that I was that upset about it. I don't. I mean, it must have been, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But we are coming back now. That's why we had the break, because I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plan is to get back to having the conversations like we used to have, doing some Reddit letters and just chopping it up.
I need to get used to this new voice. I told him I kind of feel like Stewie from Family Guy. Because I sound so different from my family. My actual family. They sound like they do, and then I sound like this. I sound like I'm from an island or something. Which is crazy to me, because I never lived anywhere but Alabama. So I don't even know why I started talking like this, and that makes any sense. So this will help me get more used to my voice, because I don't think I'm used to it yet.
Yeah. You definitely learning stuff every day with it, like how clients are responding and people thinking that you rude or angry or something.
Yes, I've had to like really be cognizant of how I talk to people because my voice comes off as gruff if I do not, or it seems, I would say apathetic. That's the word that I've been using recently. I just sound very apathetic. I'm not, but that's the way it comes across. So I have to be very cognizant of how I talk to people.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy for me to sound like I don't care. Even my mom was like, "You don't care about anything," and I was like, "I can't afford to care about anything. I don't want to wake up and then be in the hospital. Have 2 months more have passed. I missed 2 months of my life. Yeah, hot girl summer. I did not have that. I missed the entire summer. That's crazy. I don't want to do that no more. I have no desire for that. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I am apathetic. I don't know.
Well, they said it can get better, so I'm still holding out hope
I
on
mean,
that part of the brain continuing to heal.
Yeah.
But I think Red done made peace with the possibility that this is just how it is.
I have. Expect the worst and hope for the best is how I live my life. And so for me, if my voice was to come back, that would be great. If it doesn't come back, I'm ready to face that. If that is the case, I just have to figure out how to maneuver this one.
Gotcha.
And I mean, I can make my voice do other things, but like this is the way it naturally comes out. So like I can go deeper or louder or softer. I can do that, but as far as like the accent, I don't know.
I think it's like taking the inflections away from the word, like that twang that we got on stuff. It's like I don't think you can't output that much more. It's taking away the little extra little nuances in the speech that make a Southern person sound Southern, and you don't sound Southern.
I do not sound Southern anymore, and I wonder what it's going to be like when I start back dating. I wonder where they're going to think I'm from.
You can make up somewhere else.
I
Tell them
can.
wherever you want to.
I can, but then I have to make up a whole background.
Barbados.
I have to make up a whole background.
Orphan. Don't know my family.
Yeah, I guess I could. I'm sure that it's going to come up though, because I do sound really funny, and I've never left Alabama. I know what nowhere else looks like, and so, but I feel like that's going to be an issue when I start back dating. I feel like dudes are gonna think that I'm like, oh, I got me a exotic. I'm not an exotic at all. Cornbread and collard greens. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You ain't told your friends you got this island girl. You don't. Nowhere near that. Never been on an island. So I don't know what to tell you. It's not the way that it works.
Not at all.
No.
Well, we just wanted to kind of like give y'all an update on what's been going on.
Yes.
Look for episodes in the future. Get ready to write us some letters back.
Yes.
Anything else on your mind before we part ways?
I don't have anything.
All right. Well, until we come next conversation.
We out.
Holla.